Alright, in this video we're going to be looking at some rotations and trying to figure out what the angle of rotation was. Okay? Now, just a couple things to point out. One, the angle of rotation could be anything, right? You could rotate it by 20 degrees, or 50 degrees, or 100 degrees, or whatever. In these particular examples, we're restricting our rotations to a quarter turn, a half turn, or a three-quarter turn. So a quarter turn would be, like here's the original figure. If I were to rotate it, so it ended up over here. So it typically moves it one quadrant over. Then a half turn, like here's my original. Right? And there is a half turn. It would end up here, which notice that is where this one ended up. So that's a half turn. And then a three-quarter turn would be, if I turned it all the way around, like so, it ended up here. Okay. A quarter turn will be 90 degrees. A half turn would be 180 degrees. And a three-quarter turn would be 270 degrees. So what we have to look at here is, notice how H moves to H prime. You can follow this like semicircular path. So that's a 180 degree turn, rotation. And it ends up two quadrants away. Right? So this is a 180 degree rotation. Now, if you're describing a rotation, technically you should also say, what is the center of rotation? So if you're turning something, you're turning it around some center. And in this case, though, all the centers are the origin. Otherwise, they get a little more difficult to figure out. And these are pretty simple examples. All right. Also, some people might talk about turning clockwise or counterclockwise. Now, the way I'm framing it, everything is always being turned counterclockwise. Right? So this one, for example, I could say that it was a 180 degree counterclockwise turn, or I could have said it was a 180 degree counterclockwise turn. You end up in the same place. But if it's not specified, usually we consider it to be a counterclockwise turn. Here's our original figure down here, and you'll see how M got mapped over onto M prime. Let's see, here's N. Okay. And N got mapped over onto N prime, and L got mapped over here. And in each of those cases, okay, well, here I've drawn the arrows kind of a funny way. That looks like 90 degrees clockwise. So we could say it was a 90 degree clockwise rotation, or we could say it was a 270 degree counterclockwise rotation. So it depends on which direction you go, right? So I could have gone from L over to L prime, or I could have gone L all the way around the long way, which would be 270 degrees. Here, let's see, here's our original, here's our rotated figure. And if you kind of look here, see how it's the rotated figure is in the upper, it's in quadrant 1. Okay, if I take the one down here and I turn the whole graph, the original figure ends up in quadrant 1. So, to take this thing and map it up into here, we just need a 90 degree rotation. Pretty simple. And you could add counterclockwise if you want, but if you leave it off, it will be assumed counterclockwise. Or it should be anyway. Here, you'll notice that this figure right here is our original. And to get it up into here, right, if we turn the whole thing, then the original ends up in that position. So this is a 180 degree rotation. Clockwise, counterclockwise, doesn't matter. All right, down here, this is a general rule. If you notice that we're mostly in the original here is mostly in the fourth quadrant, and the rotated figure is mostly in the first quadrant. we know this is going to be a 90-degree rotation because it's turned one quadrant over. Here, you'll notice the original is in the fourth quadrant, and the rotated figure is in the second quadrant. So this is, again, going to be like a half turn, 2 quadrants away. So this is a 180-degree rotation. Let's see. What else we got here? Okay. Here's our original, and here is our rotated figure. So you can see how it kind of moved 1 quadrant over, 90-degree, counterclockwise. But if we don't add the counterclockwise, we're just going to assume that. Here's the original. Here is the rotated figure. Notice it moved 2 quadrants away, so that would be a 180-degree rotation. Here, there's the original. There's the rotated. Again, it moved 2 quadrants away. Another 180-degree rotation. Over here, we've got the original, the rotated figure. It largely moved 2 quadrants away. Another 180-degree rotation. Down here, we've got the original, and then the rotated figure. Again, largely 1 quadrant. So this is a 90-degree rotation counterclockwise. And then here, notice that to go from here to here, right, this is going to be a 180-degree. We're moving mostly 2 quadrants away. Clockwise, counterclockwise, doesn't really matter. All right, good luck.